E aí, gurizada, Kawasaki na Zanga Motos, porque cava é vida.
Get a good jump out of the gate, and then, like I said, just be aware of the lines. I mean, you're starting to see some shiny spots out there. They probably threw a little bit of water down, and those lines, they're changing.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot different than it was in Moto 1, and if you're Chase Sexton, you're hoping that's the case. He was leading the race, he threw it away, he ended up second. He wants revenge. Moto 2, about to go.
We got a Kawasaki coming into the first turn.
Yeah, there we go. Remember, Savatgy got it in Moto number 1, and I think he's done it again. So 2 great starts for Joey Savatgy. Sexton, woo, and Roczen are right there. They almost came together, all of them. Now, Roczen had a terrible first moto. I think it was 19th, trying to bounce back here. And he's got Sexton with him. And I think that's Barcia as well.
We got all the heavy hitters up front. We got Chase, we got Kenny, we got Eli up there.
And Sexton around Roczen, so he's second, trying to get Savatgy for the lead. And Tomac is lurking as well. Tomac and Barcia battling it out side by side. Tomac on the 3 around the outside.
Looks like he's got a run.
Oh, he's got Barcia, and he almost got Roczen as well. Meanwhile, Sexton setting up Savatgy. Big move around the outside for the 23. Just like that, he's in the lead. Exactly the way you would have scripted it up for the 23.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at him.
So he's in the number 1 spot, pulls a tear off. He's going to try to get away. Tomac right behind.
You know, Tomac probably sees that going down right now, and he's like, man, I need to get by these guys. Like, he's obviously it's early in the race yet, but you know, he sees it and he wants to get up there and not let him get away.
To the top of Mount Martin we go. Now, Ken Roczen crashed out of the first moto last year, won the second moto. This year crashes early in Moto 1, barely scores any points. Back with a vengeance here in Moto 2.
Yeah, it's nice to see Kenny up here firing with these guys and trying to rebound.
Tomac, though, putting pressure on. Roczen trying to get Savatgy as Tomac tries to get Roczen. Oh, Roczen makes the move. Quick strike on Savatgy from the outside. And you can see some of the nips and tucks on this track. And they're all trying to get a feel for it right now. I think that Craig is the next rider in line. Yeah, there he is behind Tomac. Oh, Tomac giving it his all.
He's really working it, man. He really wants to get by Joey, you can tell.
Huge scrubs trying to get that Yamaha down on the ground.
Oh, does he got to run? You don't really see a pass there too often.
No, he tried. Savatgy shut the door. Savatgy takes him wide
both
again.
Sides.
Yep. 2 corners in a row. Savatgy shut him down, and Tomac still fighting.
Does he got him?
It's down to the inside.
Looks like he solidified it.
Oh, he almost did what Savatgy did in the first moto. There's just nothing to grab traction with on the inside, but around the outside, he makes it work anyway.
Wow, dude, Eli's feet was off the peg. He was full send.
Desperation, and Tomac leaps into that corner. I mean, Savatgy is riding well, but you can see the intensity. Tomac needs to get up front, and he does.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the intensity in this class. I mean, look at Joey. He's no slouch. He is a fast guy on a motorcycle.
Yeah, and he was doing everything right. Wow, Craig, what a run through the whoops. So Christian Craig is going to move into 4th in the Yamaha, while Roczen and Tomac resume their battle. But now it's for 2nd instead of 3rd. Tomac, big power run around the outside.
This is always a fun little section to watch. Does Eli go wide? Where's he going to go? Like, you know, he's trying to make a move quick here.
And he chooses to follow the same line as Roczen to maybe set him up somewhere else. Sexton has opened it up to a little over a 2nd right now. Craig lurking in 4th.
Yeah, well, I'd be curious to see if Craig can tag the rope on there and maybe he can kind of hang with those guys. It'd be pretty cool to watch.
Roczen holding Tomac at bay as we go up Mount Martin. It's unbelievable how steep this is. He almost got an army crawl to get to the top. It's nice of your family to put some steps in on the other side. It's the only way to safely get up and down that.
Yeah, I helped him weed whack it a couple weeks ago, and I was falling down the hill. It's quite steep.
You're coming back from injury, man. Be careful up there. So Roczen doing a good job fending off the advances of Tomac. It's a Honda 1-2 right now, with Tomac on that Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing machine and his teammate right behind him. Then Anderson looking to make some moves as well. Anderson next in line. I believe he might have made the move on Savatgy. We go back to Tomac.
Eli seems pretty quick back here in this back section. It looks like he kind of was able to get up on Kenny a little bit.
Yeah, and he almost passed Savacci 2 laps ago. Kenny able to maintain it as they come through. Crowd loves this. Oh, big move around the outside, wheeling on the downside of the jump. Puts the Yamaha power to the ground. Takes over second. Let's see if Roczen can respond.
Ooh, Eli's just smart right there. He kind of closed the door on him.
Wow.
Here we go. We're shaping up to have a good battle, potentially.
Oh, yeah. A rematch of Moto 1. Sexton wanted the do-over. He's got it. He's got Tomac behind him. Can he hold him all the way this time? Chase Sexton really coming of age here in the summer of 2022. But it is so difficult to go one-on-one with Eli Tomac in this series. He's a 3-time 450 national champ. And Tomac is closing rapidly.
Yeah, Eli looks like he's got a good flow going right now, for sure.
Oh, it is beast mode from Tomac. The gap is almost gone. He's right there on the 23.
Wow.
He did not have this pace differential over Sexton earlier. He has found another gear.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I wonder if maybe they made a little bit of adjustments.
Yeah, he definitely looks better.
You know, maybe there's some good talk between the Star guys and Rick Gilmore, the suspension guy, and John Tomac, and those guys work really well together. So I'm curious. It'd be curious to see.
Yeah, it was a 2-second gap. You can see when they went through the finish line a half a lap later. It is one-on-one, no gap at all.
Wow.
Tomac looking to power out of this turn. He's got a wheel on the inside. He's trying to set up. Whoa! That is not the way you want to do it. He left that uphill completely sideways.
And just went full gas into the outside. I mean, these guys are flat out right now.
And finding an inside line. His drive out of these corners.
It's unbelievable, huh?
Yes. It looks like he's on more than a 450 with the power he's got coming out of these corners. Let's send it down to Jason Thomas.
So Eli Tomac's still running that Dunlop MX-14 that we talked about, that scoop tire. I asked him on the podium after the first moto if he thought about changing it, and he was having none of it. He was almost offended that I thought he was having to be a little bit less aggressive. Well, it seems like he's using that in this second moto, and he is going after Sexton.
I'll give you royalties on that, JT. Something's fired him up, and maybe he's using that sand tire to get the drive out of the turns, because it's unbelievable what he's able to do.
Do you see how he's able to go 3 in? And he cut down and turned off nothing.
Yes, and got the lead in a section where we've seen riders crash.
I would have.
Sexton trying to respond, can't do it. What a run by Tomac. And leaping into that corner, and he is looking to say goodnight here. Unbelievable the intensity from Tomac at the beginning of this race. And look, he's won 6 motos in a row. You'd think it'd be hard to be impressed, but this is next level right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch these guys when they're in a battle like this, and then they rise to the occasion, and then they're flat out like this. It's truly just fun to sit back and watch.
So go back to that section there where he made that pass. You were talking about going 3 in.
Yeah, when you go 3 in like that, it's a big hit, and it's a lot of speed.
Yep.
It's a lot of speed, but I mean, as you guys see, they land and they don't even move.
No.
I mean, that's just a testament to how strong these guys are and the work they put in off the bike. Like, they're in the gym for sure.
So let's show you this pass again. Remember, this is an area where 2 laps ago Tomac almost went down by trying to use the inside, and he used it to make the pass.
Yeah, it just comes right on up the inside. And I mean, I'm blown away. Like, just to be able to cut it. I mean, he literally steered with the rear right there, got on the gas, flat tracked that thing, and I wonder if that maybe even caught Chase a little bit off guard right there.
Yeah, I feel like chasing the better line. I know it was the outside, but he was using the rut, the berm, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I agree.
Tomac didn't need it. So in Moto 1, I mean, that's the key. Sexton was able to track Tomac down, catch him, pass him, and start pulling away. It's reversed here. Got a lot of racing left. We'll go back to JT with an update on those tires.
So just to follow up on that tire, I spoke to their team manager, Jeremy Cochran. He said the same thing. He questioned the tire, asked if Eli wanted to change it, and he just stared at him and said absolutely not. So clearly that's a sensitive subject right now, and Eli's unleashing on the racetrack.
Okay, well, he's proving us all wrong. Team manager, Jason Thomas, the rest of us, whoever it might be, because whatever he's got, it's working.
You know, if you practice on a tire consistently during the week and you're in a race situation like this where you have to be on point, Jason, he's rode this tire day in and day out in Cortez, Colorado.
Oh, little mistake.
Yeah, a little heavy there on the front end, but he knows what it's going to do in all conditions. And by developing and spending more hours and time on that deal, you know, it makes sense why he would just stick with the tire. He knows what it's going to be like in all conditions.
Yeah, I remember going back a couple of years ago when Zach Osborne won this championship in 2020. He would run the Scoop. That was the previous edition of the tire, but he ran it at home, so he was always trying to trend in that direction if there was any chance of that being the option.
Absolutely, and I've noticed a difference with the Dunlop tires over the year, from a standard tire to a paddle tire or whatever. There is a little bit of a difference in how the bike handles.
Okay.
I've noticed that.
So if you go away from it, it's going to affect other things. We're just talking grip, but it's going to affect other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I have noticed, like I said in the past, I haven't had a chance to ride this new tire that Dunlop has, but their old paddle tire was actually a little bit taller of a tire, and it affected how the bike handled a little bit.
Oh, okay. Sexton trying to hang in there and weather this storm. A big sprint and a big push from Tomac. Gap little over a second right now. He's hanging in there.
Yeah, and Chase is close enough to be able to watch the lines. He sees it's Eli. He knows he needs to perform, and he's in a great position.
Beta Motorcycles drone cam. It is all on the line right now. The red plate, the points lead, the confidence, the momentum. Sexton wants to take it away from Tomac, and he is doing everything he can to keep the heat on. We're on the bottom of this huge Mount Martin downhill. Roczen still third. Let's check this battle out. Craig is all over him.
Wow, Craig was really sending it down that downhill, and we got these guys fighting. It's good to see.
Yeah, Craig putting in a great run right now. A lot of talk in the paddock of who might represent the Team USA at Motocross of Nations. With the 2 450 slots, obviously you got to be thinking Tomac and Sexton, but who will ride the 250? There is some chatter. It could be Craig, who of course raced the 250 in Monster Energy Supercross. I asked Craig about it this morning. He would love to be part of the team. That race will take place in September at Redbud. Send it down to JT.
I spoke with AMA's Mike Pelletier on that exact subject, and he said there's a lot of push and pull going on. No decision is made quite yet. We're hoping for Unadilla announcement, maybe Budds Creek, but it's a heated battle. Everybody wants to be on Team USA this year.
Yeah, that's the thing. Craig and his mechanic, Brent Duffy, there, have made no bones about it. They would love to be on the team. So Craig is looking to open some eyes, raise some eyebrows here. You get around Ken Roczen, that's impressive. This would be for third in the moto. And I think it actually would put him into third overall. Ow, he landed hard on that one. But he's got to keep pushing because Jason Anderson is lurking back there.
Yeah, and Jason's a fighter, man. I mean, he will take you deep into the moto. So, yeah, Christian, you can't let up, dude.
Look at this fly battle box showing Sexton closing back up on Tomac.
It's looking a lot like Moto 1 right now.
Says a lot about Sexton because Tomac's obviously on his game, and Sexton is hanging with him. Craig looking for an opening on Roczen, squaring him up insides, outsides everywhere. To the inside, almost.
Wow. I can't believe he sent it in there. I would have been a bit nervous.
Yeah, we don't see that line work very often. He sends it so sideways, stayed low enough.
Oh, and he pops over that very nicely and just takes the move, takes him over.
What a ride from Craig to take third away from Roczen. He just would not give up on it.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Okay, so Craig up to third. That's Tomac's teammate. So that's two Yamahas in the top three. But it is not over. Sexton gonna fight Tomac for it with everything he has. He knows what's on the line. You saw the mechanics, the mechanics board there. Mechanic Brandon Zimmerman says fight, and that's exactly what he's doing. For Tomac, the message was sprint away.
We've had an epic day of racing here at Millville today. I mean, the 250 class, there was a lot of action. Moto 1 450, there's been a ton of action. Moto 2 right here, I mean, we're getting later into the day. The track's at the roughest point. You got some of the best guys in the sport right here. I mean, they're only a second apart. They're in the same camera frame. It's pretty cool.
It's fantastic stuff, and really this year has delivered. You look at the points, and it shows how close they are, but I think I'd argue that the racing has even been better than the results show. I mean, Tomac's won a bunch, but he has had to fight for it as of late. And that is the case here. Listen to the crowd. They love this. The mechanics cheering their riders on, trying to get them that one last % they need. Sexton has got him in his sights. And just like Moto 1, you don't often see this. Somebody tracking Tomac down. It's a minefield back here.
Yeah, this is a battle of the minds right here for sure. I mean, you got to think, like, when Eli comes by the mechanics area, he's seeing Chase Sexton's mechanic put out that pit board. You know, so there he knows that it's probably Chase. And, yeah, it's a battle of the minds right now for sure.
Anderson has caught Roczen Right now, Craig would be 3rd overall. He and Anderson would be tied on points. If Anderson makes this pass, Anderson then becomes 3rd overall again. Woohoo! Almost missed that line there on the 21.
Yeah, I love watching Jason ride. He's very loose on the bike. I'm definitely not. I'm pretty stiff. And I wish I could get a little bit of Jason's style in my style sometimes.
I can't tell what's mistakes and what's just sended here for the 21, but it worked. He's got the spot. Big pass for Anderson that'll put him back on the podium today. He needs that after a couple of rough races. This Monster Energy Kawasaki as he heads back up Mount Martin. But damage is done. Craig, he might be able to go after him. Only a couple seconds between he and Craig, but the leaders have checked out. They're 10 seconds further up the road. Those fans saluting it. Everywhere you go on this track, you're getting cheers. Oh, Anderson leaping.
Barsha's right there in that frame.
Oh, wow.
You know he's going to be hunting.
It just keeps going. Anstey with a good run in 7th. Dungey, we did not see a good start for him. He's 8th. Savatgy and Plessiger round out the top 10. We're halfway through the moto, 15 minutes to go. You could save 15% or more on your insurance with Geico as we check in with Barsha, who would be next in the running order in 6th. Going back to last year's settings of the motorcycle, he won this race a year ago, but he started up front in the 2 motos. That's a big difference for Barsha. He's had to do some work today.
Man, it's pretty funny. You can hear that bike just wide open, the Bam Bam style.
Okay, so he is trying to close on Roczen. Halfway mark. Tomac has Sexton by 1.7 seconds. Here's your next group. Should be Anstey, Dungey. Dungey's made the move. Dungey ahead of Anstey. Anstey on the Firepower Honda. I think this might be the final run for them. They just had 3 races in the middle of the year. This is primarily a Supercross team. They'd never raced Lucas Oil Pro Motocross before. You
see how Dungey's got some tear-offs on the side of his helmet right there? I always hate that as a racer. You rip the tear off and you can't quite get it clean. It's nothing that the goggles guy did or anything like that. Sometimes that's just a scenario, but you just hear this constant flapping.
Yeah, you can even hear that over the motorcycle. Here is Barsha trying to close back down on Roczen. And we've seen this from Roczen quite a bit here as of late. Started the year off showing some real fight at the opening rounds of the series, but lately the second motos have been tough on him. Battle continues up front.
Yeah, a little bit more of a yo-yo effect, I think, kind of going on here.
Yeah, Sexton had closed it down. Now Tomac has pulled it back out. Plenty more racing to go, though. Just past the halfway mark. Ah, you just love this. 2 guys at the top of their game. They want it so bad. They're pushing so hard. And they're really making each other better.
Yes, absolutely. You know, like when you're in the thick of it, you're like, God, if you're Chase, you're like, freaking Eli. Or sorry, excuse my language. You're like, Eli, what are you doing, man? And then if, you know, it's vice versa. So, yeah, you know, you're just like, but
you wish the guy wasn't there,
like
but
you said, it's raising you up as competitors, and ultimately that's what makes the sport better, and that's what we want.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the year, remember, we had 4 winners in the first 4 rounds to give you an idea of how deep the competition was, but now they've opened it up to 15 seconds over third. They have pushed each other to new limits, but the question is, who will be the winner at the end of this race day? Tracking down Eli Tomac is not easy. Chase Sexton's going to try it. But right now, it's advantage ET3.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Coming into this year, January, I break my pelvis the week of Oakland. The doctor's like, dude, don't walk on it for a month. I remember calling my parents. I'm like, well, I'm done. Like, and it's contract year. I was like, so I just wasted all this. I don't really see a sport that's like it, to be honest with you.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Well, the beast has been unleashed here. Eli Tomac looking for a 1-1, but Chase Sexton is not having it. He's closed back in. What a fantastic duel late in the day here, and it's all on the line.
Yeah, Chase is a very hungry individual. He's very motivated, and he wants to win. And as you can see, he's just like, he'll do whatever it takes, man, whatever it takes.
Whoever wins this moto will be the points leader going into next week at Washougal, so there is no reason to hold back. And for Eli Tomac, who has won this title 3 times, he's one of the toughest, one of the best ever at this game. Even he's got to be impressed. Whatever he's thrown down, Sexton has been able to answer. And what an improvement. I mean, you look at Sexton in the 250 class, was never really in contention for this title. Had speed at times the last 2 years in the 450 class, but he is taking the best Tomac has to offer and matching it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember being back on Geico and being Chase's teammate, and Chase always was like, I'm going to be a better 450 guy. He was always a little bit of a bigger guy.
Okay.
You know, like with me, I'm about 140 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So me on a 450, man, that thing's going to bark. I think we're going to have to mellow that thing out. And Chase was always asking for as much, give me all the horsepower you can give me on that 250. So it doesn't surprise me that he's loving the 450.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. And he's using the Honda to keep Tomac in sight. 1.2 seconds was the gap the last time around. Oh, Tomac, that's like Evel Knievel level.
Yeah, when you're going down that downhill that fast, I mean, it's a full send. As you can see, he's like lifting off that single.
Yeah, hopping over bumps, or clearing the bumps, I should say. And he comes into these turns so hard as well. And with all of that, he's still not able to build a gap over Sexton.
Absolutely, and like with the track getting more and more rough like this, a little secret that I like to do is if you go back to a two-stroke has no engine braking, right? Now, when you put an engine, a four-stroke has engine braking. So when you're coming down these downhills, like what you see Eli and Chase doing, the bike gets sucked down. So it's putting more load into the chassis. It kind of creates a little bit of rigidity. So when I'm setting up my bike for outdoors or just in general, I like my bike to be a little bit more like a two-stroke. It just helps take, the bike feels a little bit better on all conditions on the track.
You try to take that engine brake out as much as you can?
I like to, yeah. Some riders like it. They say it kind of helps them turn. But more often than not, I gravitate towards having less engine braking.
Well, it is unbelievable what these riders can feel. I was talking to Bob Barnett, who actually builds some of the clutch levers for these teams, and he was talking about working with Tomac earlier with the arc levers in the year, and he gave Tomac 2 options, 1 millimeter apart, and Eli said, can you build me one in between? And he said, well, that would be a 0.5 millimeter. And he did it, and he put it on the bike, and Eli's like, yep, that's the one I want.
Yeah,
he can feel that.
Yeah, I can totally agree with him. I've had some arc levers back in my day, and we've tried different ratios, and you know, I like to run my clutch pretty tight when I go up to the line to have a little bit more control. I feel like it helps me out of the gate. Some people are different. I get it tight, and I don't use it much when I'm racing on the track, so I actually oftentimes roll it back, Jason.
During the race?
Yes.
You back off that tightness, yep. This is unbelievable. Did I see, that's the second time I've seen Tomac reach for the pants there. He did it earlier. To go back to the motorsport.com whole shot replay, and then we update you on that. What a run by Savatgy from way on the outside of the Kawasaki.
Yeah, he really got a great drive, and it was just full power down to the ground and goes across the chalk line.
Yep, ahead of the 2 Hondas, it was Roczen and Sexton right behind him, but Joey Savatgy has 2 motorsport.com whole shot awards today on that Monster Energy Kawasaki. Sexton, it's about as close as he has been since Tomac got around him earlier in the race. giving Eli all he can handle. It's their ETS drone cam.
Yeah, we're just under 6 minutes to go here, and these guys they haven't been this far apart, like basically the whole race. They know they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything Tomac has, Sexton has been able to answer. So now it's just a matter of, as Tomac said earlier in the year, who's going to blink first? Who's going to make the mistake? This is so good. And I'll tell you, from my perspective, it doesn't look like, well, he made a mistake there, but it doesn't look like Sexton's over his head running this pace. He did make one mistake, but he looks like he can run this comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys look like, every day they're pushing, they're racing the lap time during the week. These guys are accustomed to living life on the edge, I guess you could say. You got to be, in this sport, you got to be uncomfortable. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? That's the only way you get better. That's the only way you grow as an individual. And yeah, they're on the edge. And I think that, as you can see, they make it look good.
And that's one mistake in that corner from Sexton. Look at the difference that it's made. All the way through, Tomac pulled him in this entire section. He's almost doubled the kind of gap that he had. Honestly, it's hard at this point to tell Roczen has gone down, so his day was already bad. It has gotten worse. Hardly scored any points in Moto 1. He's back to 7th here in Moto 2. He's up. I think that was Savatgy that got around him. Savatgy is 10th. Oh, we have it. It was with Dungey.
You think he tries to cut it tight here?
Sure does.
Oh.
Wow.
That was different. I thought he'd for sure maybe just lose the rear on acceleration.
Dungey had just passed him. Man, that section must be so deceptive because we've seen several mistakes and crashes in there. Savatgy went down in the first moto in that section. That is Dungey. So Dungey has risen up to 6th.
Looks like he's about 10 seconds back from Barsha, and he's just fighting forward.
Yep, not exactly what the Dungey wanted. You know he'd like to go for the podium today. As we go back to the leader, Tomac, where is Sexton? Let's see the gap. Still lurking. Oh, this is everything you want. Two great riders, teams that want it bad, and really a clash of generations as well. Let's send it down to Jason Thomas.
Guys, these two have been on the limit for going on 25 minutes now. And really, they're doing 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster than anybody else on the racetrack now. When I was racing, we kind of say you're in the deep end of the pool right now and you're going to find out who can swim, because they've been pushing for the entire moto, and something's got to give here. Somebody's going to get tired, somebody's going to make a mistake, but it almost feels like Sexton's waiting till the end to make a run.
See how he plays it, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see how this shakes out right here. As you can see, I think this is probably the tightest it's been in a couple laps. We're at 2 minutes and 57 seconds to go right here. So let the best man win.
It's crunch time now. Tomac versus Sexton with the points lead and the overall win for the weekend, hanging in the balance. Powering out of that sand turn into the next set of sand whoops. Just so fun to watch these two push each other to the max. Craig is 23 seconds back. He is riding very well in 3rd. Slugging it out. I think Anderson is just going to edge Craig for 3rd overall today. Craig's riding well, Anderson's riding well, but these two have taken it to another level. Watch out for the lap traffic. Sexton and Tomac, no problems there. Oh, Sexton is almost to the rear wheel.
Man, look.
You don't see this happen often. You don't see this. Someone trying to break Tomac down late in the moto. On the downhill here, we hear that Max Anstie, who was running in 7th, is now out of this moto. We might see his motorcycle here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he's down. That is terrible.
Yeah, that's not a good place. Not one you want to crash. It's not really on your side if you get loose down that downhill.
No, that is a huge hill. Oh, Max was riding so well. Hate to see that. Back to the battle for the lead. I mean, Sexton was absolutely on Tomac. They had to slow it down through that section with Anstie down. Man, I hope he's all right. Rider out of England. He's coming really in just for a couple of races to learn his new team for next year. Oh, it is on right now, J-Mart.
Yeah, we got ourselves a good old-fashioned battle right here, and like as you said, the clock's ticking down. Chase with 2 lap. When he sees the 2 lap board, Jason, he's going to be all in.
All right, he is sitting up. That's good to see from Anstie, and it is going to be 2 to go the next time around. So 3 laps left for Sexton to try to make this work. It is an almost impossible task to try to overcome Eli Tomac late in a second moto in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Many have tried, few have succeeded. Can Sexton get it done?
Oh, wow. You could just hear the engine roaring on that Yamaha 450, huh? That was neat.
And the same thing, I want to hear them coming out of that corner. Full revs, dump the clutch, everything these bikes have. Oh, Eli's trying to sprint right now. He is hustling.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder what's, from Chase's perspective, it'd be so cool to know what he's thinking right now, wouldn't it? He's all in. He's like, where can I make up the difference? Where can I get a little bit of an edge and just get another bike length or two to maybe get in a position to get up on him?
Yeah, that's the thing. He has been lurking the whole time, but he's rarely been close enough to really show him a wheel. Tomac has been able to keep it to about a second the entire time. And now Sexton is running out of time. It's going to be 2 to go. Can he get close enough? And shout out to these guys for riding this type of pace and keeping the mistakes to a minimum. They come down Mount Martin. And they've cleared it. Anstie is no longer in that section, so that's good to see that he's able to get up and out of there.
What's really impressive to me is you guys watch these guys. These ruts are deep, and there's a lot of choppy acceleration bumps coming out of them. And you can even see that in some of them, there's some pretty mean-looking hooks in the rut. And these guys will stand up, and the momentum that they're carrying into the hook, and then to be able to accelerate out and carry that momentum it's really impressive.
Absolutely. Keeping those mistakes to a minimum, like I said, despite how rough the track is, despite how much they're pushing it. Okay, here it comes. The final push. 2-lap card is out. There it is for Tomac and then for Sexton. 1.6 seconds in it. Whoever wins the race takes the points lead. Tomac unofficially got it back between motos. But Sexton can get that points lead back by 1 if he wins this one. It is on right now at Spring Creek. It's everything you want to see. And as I said, also a clash of the generations. The 29-year-old Tomac, whose career is winding down. Sexton, who is hitting a new level at age 23. Didn't quite get the drive he wanted heading into these sand rollers.
This is a full-on sprint right now. Like if you're Chase, you're all in, and if you're Eli, you just don't want to let him get close enough, because if he gets close, obviously it's a good opportunity for Chase to get there, and then with just 1 lap to go, Chase can suffer through this, because these guys, I feel like they're definitely feeling the fatigue right now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's starting to set in. Like, I take pride in being in shape, but I'd be lying, Jason, if I said if I was in this kind of battle, these guys battled Moto 1, they battled Moto 2, I'm hurting a little bit.
Well, we saw you a couple of years ago pushing Dylan Ferrandis for a win here. You said, what, 2-3 days before you could ride?
Yeah, I was not good for 3 days.
Unbelievable. And that's probably going to be the case with these two. They are going to be feeling it tomorrow. Sexton, a last gasp effort to try to close back in. It's everything they have right now. Can Sexton get close enough to show him a wheel? Not quite there. Kind of waiting to see, again, which one blinks, which one makes the mistake. The critical juncture. Tomac rockets out of that corner. Full rev limiter in the air before he puts that power back to the ground. Sexton closed back up through there.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit tighter.
Oh, here it is.
We're gonna get the white flag, Jason.
This is it. 1 to go. Everything they've got. It was 1.6. It's 1.1. Sexton made up a half second the last time around.
Yeah.
Crowd's into it as well.
Yeah, we'll see what the mechanics are going to be all cranked up, doing everything they can to try to get their riders to...
Whoa! Sexton absolutely sent it into that corner and held on to it. He knows how critical it is. Throw the consistency out the window. He wants to win this one. Into the sand rollers for the last time.
Oh, man, Eli got a pretty good drive through there, and so did Chase.
Yeah, Chase was better than he was the last time around, but Eli got it as well. Beautiful drive out of the corner by Tomac. Watch out for the lap traffic. No problems there. Sexton have anything left. Any tricks he can pull out. Tomac maintaining that gap where it was.
He's going to really have to go as fast as he's ever gone down Mount Martin.
Uh-oh. That's right. That does loom. That is an option to just send it even further down that hill. Sexton a little bit further inside at the base. Here we go to the top. Half a lap to go. Tomac versus Sexton. Momentum, points, confidence, everything up for grabs. Here's the big run down the hill. Sexton's not quite close enough. The fans are giving it everything they've got as well in support of this. Tomac has responded. Great run by the number 3. You're just shaking your head.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head. Like, Chase is doing everything he can. He's thrown everything he possibly can at Eli today. Unfortunately, he had that crash in that Moto 1, but I mean, what else could Chase do?
He did everything right, but Eli Tomac is maybe the hardest obstacle to overcome in all of motocross. Late in the moto, too strong, too fit, too solid, too consistent. Eli Tomac goes 1-1. And takes the points lead. Sexton left it all out there on the track. It was one heck of an effort. But the final margin of victory, 1.7 seconds. You can't ask for more than that from either rider.
No, absolutely not. And Eli keeps that win streak alive.
He has not lost a moto since the second moto at round 4 at High Point. He goes 1-1 at Redbud, 1-1 at Southwick, 1-1 at Millville. Christian Craig is going to be 3rd in the moto, but Anderson is going to edge him for 3rd overall. But for Craig, still, it's a big one.
Yeah,
showing that he can compete with the top
This is
names.
a great ride for Christian. I mean, job well done, dude. You something to be proud of.
Yeah, because Anderson would have loved to have tracked him down in the moto, couldn't get it done. Anderson will edge him for the podium. There's Kyle Chisholm. Good to see the Privateer back at it today. Doesn't race many motocross races anymore at this stage of his career. Came out here for fun. There is Anderson. That will be 3rd overall for the Kawasaki rider with 3-4 finishes. So a good run from Anderson and even Eli Tomac.
Yeah.
Even the fittest are going to be tired after being pushed like that. What an effort by Eli Tomac to take the win today.
All give the power, we all give the best. Every minute, half an hour, don't think about the rest.